So what I like to do is to do some example problems with you on Chapter 3 exercise. I'm not going over the homework solution because it's still out there and we haven't done yet. So if you look at, this is Chapter 2 in the back of the book. This is your 8th edition, and your homework is assigned for number 2 here. It's at the bottom of this. And you come over here. Here is the rest of that number 2. But I like to get and start with you number 3, and of course number 3 is a great problem to practice with it as well. So let me zoom in number 3. That will give you a sense on what you're going to be doing in this problem with it as well. So if you look at number 3 here, it says suppose int 1, int 2 are int, and this is how it's declared: dec1, dec2, decimal 1, decimal 2. These are doubles with it. So what I normally do is I will always like to do it with a spread table, with kind of like an Excel document with it. So I'm going to just open up an Excel document, use it as a kind of like I don't know, a sandbox for us to use it, because there's rows and columns already with it. So you can do this in a regular Microsoft Word. I don't care how you want to do this, but I'm just going to do this. And if you do this, because for the purpose of demonstration with this, I'm just going to do this one. This is number 3. And so in this, again, this is part A. I'm just going to, let me center this whole thing so you can see this. A, B, C, and we have all the way down to E, D, E. So the first thing I would recommend you to do is to look at this, and it says int 1, int 2, and you can go in and put in your integers in your table header, which is what? Your int 1, int 2, dec1. Let's see what happens. We have autocorrect. Thinks it's December. And dec2. And oh, there you go again. Hold on, I want to pause for a second. Yeah, let me pick up where we left off. I'm doing number 3 right now. I'll show you how to do this. So int 1, int 2 are int integers with it. The other variables, all these are table headers with it. So if you want to put in your next one, is your dec1 and I'm sorry, this is how this is got stuck last time with it. So if you did this in just put an apostrophe dec1. That's the only way that you would actually have to keep that an apostrophe dec2. So a little trick that I found out. But anyways, so you need to, this is what's being input right now, and this is the data, and it says what value, if any, assigned to int 1, int 2, dec1, dec2 for each of the following statement executed. So let's do part A first. All right, cin stream what is this operator called? Stream insertion operator. So you're going to read in decimal 1 is what? The first one's going to be read as 56 point what? 56.5. Okay, and then int 1 is going to be what? 67 with this as it streams. So here's your dec1 and space. So int 1 is going to be your 67, right? And then the next one I want is int 2. It's going to be what? 48. And then the next one's going to be read as dec2, I'm sorry. That's going to be 62.7. Okay, so that's the first round with this, just to make sure we got this right here. So int 1 is 67, int 2 is 48, int 3, dec1 is 56.5, and dec2 is 62.72. Take the next one. First one reads in as an int 1. Remember now, what is 56.50 is? And as an int is what? That's going to be 50 6, right? And then your next one you're going to read in as deck 1. It's going to be what? It's deck 1. Deck 1 is going to be this 0.5 right here. So this is your deck 1. Okay? And remember now your cursor is right here, it's blinking right now. And it's going to read in deck 2 is what? So deck 2 is your next decimal, which is a 67. So what is 67 is deck 2. It's going to be 67, right? So that's going to store that into deck 2 is a 67 right here. Okay. Now, and then he reads in deck 2. Yeah, that was deck 2, so I'm reading in int 1. Int 1 is what? Int 1 would take you to what? Here's your cursor right here. This is your next one's going to be 48, which is an int. Okay, so int is going to be what? This is part B. I'll give you a second to think. What's your int 1? 48. Okay, so that's how this is stored in right now with it. Let's do another one. Cn deck 1 reads in the whole 56.50, right? Deck 1, 56.50, right? And then it reads in, I'm doing C. Deck 2 is what? What's deck 2? Deck 2, which is what? Your cursor is right here. Reads in the 5067. It's a 6 byte. Store that in. And then it reads in the next one is int 1, which is what? 48. Right? And then your int 2 is going to be 62. Okay, so you see how I kind of finish that? I'll let you do D, okay? So just want to make sure that you're following along and engaging in this thing. So int 1 is 48, int 2 is 62, 56.5 is deck 1, and then your deck 2 is going to be your 67. I'll let you do D on your own, but only look at E for me. First part's to read in int 1 is your integer, which is what? 56, right? Just the 56 right now. Here it is right here. Your cursor is right. Just read that as int. And then it tells it to read int 2. Look at this. What happens? This is an integer, and it's trying to store a 0.5 into this, which has caused what? You can't put a decimal into an integer, so this becomes input failure. And it just ends it right there. Okay? The whole thing just ends the whole problem right there. Okay? Cool. So let me pause right here.